Hi, I'm Crystal Floyd, and welcome to another episode of Acxiom After Work. Joining me today is Will Barton. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I'm glad to be on the show with you guys.
Yeah, we're going to talk about skydiving.
Awesome. I love it.
Yes, I'm super excited to talk to you about this today. So, tell me a little bit about yourself. How long have you been at Acxiom, and what do you do?
So I've been at Acxiom for 6 years now, although I'm a boomerang, so that's split up into about 4.5 years and a year and a half this go. And I am a product manager in US data, and I manage the info-based product that a lot of people work with on a daily basis.
Now, let's talk about skydiving.
Okay.
How did you get into skydiving?
So skydiving is something I probably saw videos when I was younger. I always thought it seemed really cool, but the closest place to jump was 4 hours away. So it was a little bit of a kind of hard to do. And a few years ago, I learned that there was a drop zone in Clarksville, Arkansas, just up the road. So I was like, now that I know it's here, I guess I got to do it.
So you've been doing this for 7 years?
No, I've only been doing this for about a year and a half.
Oh, a year and a half. Okay, a year and a half. So what kind of certifications do you need?
So anybody can learn to skydive. You pretty much go take a first jump course, which is about a half day or an evening, depending on where you take a class. And then depending on the method of learning, you either go jump with a couple instructors from 10,000 feet or however high the first time, or they go pitch you out of the plane by yourself, which is how I learned. And they pretty much throw your parachute out and you learn how to fly a parachute first before everything else.
So let's walk through a jump.
Okay.
So we get to our location, right? We get on a plane. We have to make sure we have our equipment. What equipment is needed?
So I brought with me today, this is my skydiving rig here. It's a nice big glorified backpack, as you can see. Kind of top portion, we've got a reserve parachute because if we have problems, we need more than one parachute.
Need a backup.
My main parachute's packed down in here. If you always notice, people in movies pull this as to deploy. It's kind of a military thing. We don't do that. This is our little hacky that we use to deploy our main parachute, and then it pulls out a pilot chute, and the main parachute comes off the back and opens up over you. And last we got here is a little computer called an AAD. It's an automatic activation device. It says if I'm still falling in free fall at a certain altitude, we're done here. Automatically deploys your reserve chute. Let's say you pass out for some reason, have a heart attack. It's going to automatically deploy your reserve to kind of hopefully get you back to the ground safely if you have a problem.
So it has some safety features. How much does this thing weigh?
It's about 20 pounds.
20 pounds?
Yeah, it could be a little bit lighter when you get smaller parachutes in there and get more skilled in advance like that. But it's not light, but it keeps me safe every time I step out of a plane.
Right. Okay, so we have our equipment. We're on the plane. We're heading up.
Yep.
How long does it take to reach the altitude that we need to jump?
So we jump from 10,000 feet up in Clarksville, and we're jumping out of a little Cessna 182. So we usually take 4 jumpers and a pilot. A month ago, we had a big skydiving event, brought in a bigger plane. It held 20 people, and we were jumping from 17,500 feet, and it only took us 10 minutes to get there. So a lot bigger drop zones that can afford that gives you the niceties of the big plane.
Okay, so we've reached altitude.
Yep.
We have the door open. We're ready to jump. What's next? Do someone just kick you off the plane, or do you just have to close your eyes and step out? So talk to us, walk us through what the actual jump looks like.
So let's say I'm the first person in the plane. I'm going to be getting out. We're going to go be jumping together. I'm going to stick my head straight out of the plane, look down, make sure there's no planes in either direction or off or anything that we could be an obstacle. And then we're going to climb out on a little 1x2 step, holding onto this strut of the plane. We're going to give some kind of verbal communications or nods and kind of give a count and then let go. And now you're falling in back towards Earth.
Wow, that is amazing. So you have to tell me, where's your favorite place to jump?
So I've only got to jump in Oklahoma and Arkansas so far, but our home drop zone in Clarksville is my favorite. You get great views of the Ozarks kind of to the north, and then a couple miles to our south, the Arkansas River. So you're always just looking out and you're like, this is just a beautiful landscape that I have there. Now, I definitely look forward in future trips to jump in like Florida or over the coastline, over the ocean. I had friends who recently jumped over the Great Pyramids in Egypt. So there's definitely bucket list places I'd like to jump that will come in due time.
What keeps you coming back to skydiving? Like, what gives you that? What keeps you coming back for that adrenaline rush?
So aside from the adrenaline rush, the biggest part is just the family. There's a core group of us jumpers out there that we see every single week. We love each other like a family. And while you're jumping, if you're jumping by yourself, it's just times of kind of pure bliss and peacefulness as you're doing this. If you're jumping with other people, kind of learning new things are always great. The emotions on people's face, the smiles you see, it's just, you could be falling to your death potentially, but you don't.
So talk to us a little bit about wingsuiting.
So wingsuiting is kind of an advanced discipline of skydiving that I've always seen videos of and wanted to learn. But you have to have a minimum of 200 skydives before you don a suit. They want to make sure that you're comfortable in the air, you can solve problems before we add in a whole new level of complexity. So instead of just falling to the ground, obviously skydiving, you're actually flying. You're in control. You kind of glide around for up to 3-4 minutes instead of 30 seconds of falling. So it's definitely, it's just an expansion of the human's dream to fly.
So one of the things that, I was curious of, like, what keeps you from hitting mountains or trees, or how do you navigate as you fall? So you have about 30 seconds of free fall before you have to deploy the parachute.
Yep.
How do you navigate without,
So
getting to Earth?
yeah, so once you're under canopy, you've got 2 control toggles that basically connect up to the lines on the parachute. You unbrake them, and then you can steer left or right. When I did my first tandem, my tandem master was like, "Put your hands up in these toggles." He's like, "Okay, pull down on the left one," and we turn left, turn right. You can pull down on those really hard and spin yourself up really fast, or if you're really good, you can like do barrel rolls with the canopy, which is nowhere near my level of skill yet, but our tandem master can do it.
So do you ever aspire to be a coach, or what does this look like in the future? Do you want to go on skydiving adventures with others, with first timers, or?
Yeah, I definitely see myself being a coach down the road, instructor possibly. It's a lot of investment and time, but I don't see myself leaving the sport and it for any reason anytime soon. So hope to have some big trips in the future, get to jump with more people, learn new disciplines, have a lot more fun.
So what advice would you have for people who are wanting to get into skydiving?
The biggest thing I say is get out and do a tandem the first time. See if it's the kind of thing for you. We always love to have new people out to tandem. We love to teach new people and see new people get into the sport. It's just something that it's not for everybody, and it's worth exploring if you've ever wanted to jump out of a plane.
Good. So is there anything else you want to share for those that are considering skydiving or wingsuiting or anything like that? Anything else you want to share?
As I mentioned earlier, I was like, just get out and give it a try. See if it's your thing. Come out to our drop zone. I'm a little selfless plug for Paradise Valley Skydiving. We love having first timers come out, learn the sport with us. It's fun, even as an experienced skydiver, not being a coach or anything, to see people learn and grow and develop their skills. And it's just a fun thing.
Well, it has been a pleasure talking to you today. Thank you for joining us. And we'll see you on another episode of Acxiom After Work.